Jacob Stimmel, and I'm from Bulls Gap, Tennessee. And I was looking for a house, and Jason, when I talked to him, it seemed like he knew a lot about what he was talking about, and he was a big help with anything I ever needed. It was my first time buying a house, so I didn't know what I was getting into. It was a good experience. I closed actually a week earlier than planned. Anytime I needed help with anything or had any questions, he'd answer right away and help me learn a lot too. I would gladly recommend anybody. Y'all are a big help, and if I ever go to buy a house again, I'd go with y'all again. My name is Jacob Stimmel, and I got into my first home with the team at SaveWithConrad.com.
NMLS number 2129, Equal Housing Lender. SaveWithConrad.com. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to What Happened When? A little bonus action all up in that ass. And of course, we couldn't do it without the Hall of Famer, the voice of your childhood, Tony Schiavone. Tony, what's going on, man? How are you?
So hey, I'm great, Conrad. It was great to see you in Huntsville.
Awesome to see you.
Yeah. Had a great crowd. We really did.
I gotta tell you, I was blown away. Huntsville kind of turned out for you guys.
Yeah, they sure did. Absolutely.
I don't know. I don't see the attendance figures. I don't know it, but I had an expectation walking in. And when I actually watched Sting come down from the rafters, I was looking around. I'm like, man, there's people in the upper deck. I didn't expect that. Like, I think that's probably the AEW Huntsville record.
I would think so. I know there was a house show last time that I did not attend, and I'm sure a house show was not attended as well as a television show. And I do remember we had a television show a few years back.
Yeah. Pre-pandemic.
Pre-pandemic. That's right. Wow. Pre-pandemic. Wow. Can you believe that was almost 5 years ago, pre-pandemic?
I mean, it was 4 years ago this month that the world changed forever.
Yeah.
I was really impressed with the crowd and how people turned out. And I had heard, like Jeff Jarrett had said to me, well, Huntsville's a walk-up town. And I was like, no, the fuck. Turns out Huntsville's a walk-up town, and greatly appreciate everybody I got to see and say hello to, and appreciate all the hospitality from AEW. It was a great time, and I'm sure we'll be talking about it a whole lot on our regular podcast. But today is bonus action, and we've got not one, but two bonus episodes coming your way. And just in time for Sting's last match, wouldn't you know it, we're watching a Sting match from Nitro. Man, this is going to be fun. It felt a little Nitro-ish when Sting came down from the rafters. And of course, on the last Nitro, we saw those bats hanging from the ceiling. And then on the last Dynamite, we see those bats hanging from the ceiling. Really cool moment. And I'm glad we're getting to celebrate Sting. As you and I are recording this, we're just a couple of days away from Sting's last match. You were fortunate enough to be able to call Rick's last match and now Sting's last match. I mean, are those the two probably most iconic characters you worked with when you really think about the longevity of their career and yours?
Yeah, I feel that, and again, I feel very fortunate to be in some way tied to both of those guys. And obviously I was there for a lot of Hulk Hogan's career. Did I say Huck?
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan's career as well. But yeah, I do agree with that. This is from Hutch Bennett, a good buddy of ours, Low Key Big Hog, who is from Gainesville, Georgia. And he said he was 9 years old when he saw this.
Wow.
And he also said that somewhere in here, and I don't know where it is, we haven't found it yet, but Jeff Jarrett apparently cracks Moolah with or Mae Young or somebody with
that's on another bonus.
Okay. All right. So anyway, so a lot was going on, and Jeff Jarrett's right. Huntsville is a walk-up town. Jeff really knows what he's talking about. He's very smart in wrestling. Of course he is. It's been his life, right?
Yeah.
And of course I have a lot of time for him. And as you know, we have a lot of good people backstage. We've got
so many.
some knuckleheads backstage.
Handful.
But you know what? Every business does, right?
Yes.
Yes. And that's what we are. We had a great time in Huntsville. Looking forward so much to Greensboro coming up on Sunday, and looking forward to being part of Sting's last match.
I kind of low key wish I had made plans to be there now. I mean, I'm going to be watching I'm actually doing a pre-show and a post-show with Eric Bischoff. Obviously, he was a big part of Sting's career, and I'm pumped, man. I can't wait to see the pay-per-view. And I was actually telling some of your coworkers, we'll say office people, I think this could actually be the pay-per-view record. I mean, I think, obviously I don't have any inside info or inside track or trends or anything like that, but just as a gut feeling, it stands to reason to me that it is a logical conclusion to think that, boy, a whole bunch of people are interested in Sting's last match. We might even call them quote unquote lapsed fans. I really do believe that he is a generational talent, and it's kind of weird that a lot of people are sort of just now coming around to that idea. I mean, just a handful of years ago, as recent as 2016, Dave Meltzer was saying, hey, nobody's ever made a logical argument as to why Sting should be in the Hall of Fame. And I just thought, what? I thought that at the time, and now with the benefit of hindsight, it's like, dude, he has removed all doubt, any question. Sting's a Hall of Famer, and I'm glad we get to watch a special match of his from all the way back in 1999. That was 25 years ago, Tony. You feeling old yet?
Yeah, well, I felt old long before you told me that.
April 26, 1999 is season 5, episode 17. That's the nomenclature they use on Peacock. So fire up your Peacock, pull that Peacock out, get to season 5, episode 17, or as us people in the real world call it, April 26, 1999. We'll be watching a little Monday Nitro, and I think, Tony, you wanted us to be at 40:50. Is that right?
Yeah, 40 minutes and 50 seconds. It'll be a wide shot, and that's where we start. But I've been looking up nomenclature because I've never heard you use that word on our podcast.
I can drop a little bit every now and again.
The devising or choosing of names for things, especially in a science or other discipline. Good job.
I love you had to check. He made that fucking word up, and I'm going to call him out on it. I know it.
No, I've heard it before because I'm married to a woman that likes to use big words. I've heard it before, but I've never looked up the definition. I thought now would be a good time to look it up, and damn if I could remember it, I would use it in like a collision or something, but I'll forget.
No, you should do it during a luchador match. You could say, what's the nomenclature for that move? Caliber. And he'll know. And Taz will look at all Thesaurus Jones over here.
Right. I can tell you a story that cocksucker used the word Latigo one time. He said, and a Latigo, and I just looked at him and he just kept talking. And I looked at him, kept talking. So I looked up Latigo, and it's a Spanish word for arm drag.
Oh.
And I went, motherfucker. You're just showing off now is what you're
Oh God. I love when you guys are busting balls. Let's do this together, man. Let's watch. We've got a big crowd here in Fargo, North Dakota.
Wow.
There's 11,492 fans in the stands. 8,813 of those jokers were paying customers.
Wow. Fargo Dome.
Yeah, the Fargo Dome. Man, I've never been to North Dakota. You got any North Dakota memories you can share with us? Feels like there's nothing there, bud.
No. You know, we did a lot of those. During these years. We did a WCW Saturday night taping in Bismarck.
Okay.
And I remember one time that I flew into Minneapolis and drove to either Bismarck or maybe somewhere in Montana. I don't know. And drove back like an idiot all night and just went right to the airport. But we went to some of those. Now, of course, if you live there, you're going to say, hey, it's not a weird place. It's my home. I get it. But for us, it's the prairie, right? It's like one of those states that you just look and said, oh, that's shaped like a fucking square before you get to Canada. But it was, I remember this. I remember driving up to the Fargo Dome. And the reason I remember driving up to the Fargo Dome is because once you get into Fargo, You can see the Fargo Dome from just about anywhere.
Oh, wow.
Because it's so big and everything else is, kind of small. It just kind of sits there like a big, if I recall, like a big flying saucer
Wow.
in the middle of. And I remember thinking, man, we're not going to draw anybody. But then we had a hell of a crowd. So yeah, and we used to go to Sturgis, obviously, and we would drive from Sturgis like down to Cheyenne, Wyoming. I remember one time, and I think it was between Sturgis and Cheyenne or Sturgis and Denver, because we used to have Sturgis was on a Saturday night. So we had Sunday off for Monday Nitro. And so I would get in a car and drive. Sometimes guys would be with me. Sometimes I'd drive by myself. I think we did it like 3 years in a row or something. And I remember driving, thinking, I'll just cut through one of these back roads. And I went driving down one of the back roads, and there were deer. There weren't deer crossing the road. They were laying in the fucking road.
Really?
Yeah, just laying there and I drove up slowly, and they looked at me and said, almost as if to say, what the fuck are you doing in the middle of the night driving through here? And I kind of beeped the horn. It was like 4 of them just laying in the road, and they got up and moseyed on away.
Wow.
So I've had a lot of interesting trips, and this part of the country is very interesting. I really think it's worth your time to go to these places. I've been very lucky that I've traveled to every state except Alaska. And
we got to check that one off the box if you've been everywhere else.
Yeah, I know I do.
Shout out to Brandy. Brandy Wagner would love to host you.
Yeah, I know. And I would go up to Alaska to see if Janine Turner of Northern Exposure lived up there. So you never watched Northern Exposure? Well, of course you were a kid back then.
She's 61, bro.
I know she looks good for 61, but back in the day.
Okay, I just saw back. Oh, you were short hair Jones.
Yeah.
I got you. I didn't know you were short hair. Have you always been short hair Jones?
Not necessarily, but man, she wore it well.
Oh, I ain't arguing.
Yeah.
She's a very lovely woman.
Yep. It's Lois and I have at times and times been trying to catch up with that show because it's all on Prime Video right now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. I like it. Cool. So anyway, and it was a big Emmy winning show back in the day, but be that as may, I would like to go to Alaska. I really would like to go to Alaska. And so maybe I'll make it happen. I finally got to go to Vermont past year because I flew into Vermont and drove across the border to go to Montreal and drove back. And I'm going to be going to Vermont, later this month of March, going back to Canada.
You're going to say hello, say what's up to Jeff Jewett, friend of the show, doodooTrucking.com.
What part of Vermont does he live in?
Burlington.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Burlington's got a pretty cool airport.
Really?
Yeah. It's I like it. I think it's a very small but very accessible, very modern airport. I liked it. Yeah. Maybe he'll come by in one of his shit trucks, pick me up, and take me across the border.
You know what? I think I can arrange that. Do you want a shit truck transfer? If you need a shit truck transfer, I know just the guy. I think we can set you up. By the way, we want you to set up with us too. Pull that little Peacock out for us.
I did. Okay.
Let's take a look at, not you, Tony.
Okay.
Season 5, episode 17, April 26, 1999. You'll see a wide crowd shot. As we said, a lot of folks in the building, 11,492. They sat through Conan and Brian Adams. Conan won by DQ. We saw Scott and Steve Armstrong beat Raven in a handicap match. Shout out to Steve Armstrong. I don't hear about him doing anything anymore. Hope he's doing well. But we're about to watch Sting and the WCW World Champion Diamond Dallas Page. Later in this show, there would be Rey Mysterio and Psychosis, Bam Bam Bigelow, and Eric Watts, the WCW TV champion, Booker T, wrestling Ming, who's still laughing about the Shockmaster. Brian Knobbs is going to be in there with Hack, Horace Hogan, and Mikey Whipwreck.
Wow.
The U.S. champion Scott Steiner will be wrestling Randy Savage. And we're also going to have a rematch. Diamond Dallas Page, Sting, Goldberg, and Kevin Nash in a no DQ match. Randy Savage is going to be involved. Boy, there's a lot of moving parts here. April 26, 1999, to see Sting and DDP pulling double duty like that. And I assume the reason they went on so early in the show, Tony, is because we wanted to have a cliffhanger for Raw.
Right.
You know, you want to have something at the top of the hour that's riveting and compelling and all that jazz. And that's the only thing I can think of, because this is the 3-hour Nitro era. You'd have 1 hour of Raw sort of unopposed, and then it'd be head to head with 2 hours of Nitro. And as we know, the Monday Night War started to really get hot in April of 98 with Vince and Austin sort of headlining a Raw where they were going to wrestle with one arm tied behind Austin's back. Here comes Dude Love, but that's what tipped the scales in WWE's favor. So here we are a year later. WWE is doing very, very well in the ratings. And now we got to make sure people who watch that first hour on Nitro stick the hell around.
Right.
What a great idea to say, let's stick Sting and DDP out there for the world title. Not in the last segment on the show, but in the last segment of the first hour. Pretty ballsy move.
Yeah. It's called, trying to keep fans around for the crossover. And not only that, you're looking at, because the ratings meters, and I don't know if they still do this. I don't know how they do ratings, but the ratings meters always took the sample right at the top of the hour. And so you wanted to get a good sample at the top and the quarter, and the bottom, quarters up top. So that was another reason.
So, to expound on what Tony said there were some markets that were known as quote unquote metered markets. So in radio, people would walk around with a gimmick and it would pick up what they were listening to. In television, you would agree to have them put something on your actual set.
Right.
Other places, of course, they'd have you fill out a funky ass diary by hand and hope that you remembered everything. So
right. It
was a flawed system, not the best system, but it's what we had at the time. But I didn't realize it happened right at the top of the hour, but I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, that's the way it happened at the top of the hour. And that's why that's why, we started going early, if you'll recall. Because we wanted to get momentum. We wanted people to tune in and be there at the top of the hour for us. And we wanted to start before them.
Hey, silly question, but how did TBS starting all their programs 5 minutes after the hour, how did that affect the ratings? Do you know?
I don't know how that affected the ratings. I really don't. Only thing I can think of is that the cable ratings back then, and there's someone out there a lot smarter than me, were not the same as network rating. They took their samples maybe a different way.
Okay.
I don't know, but that was kind of a Ted Turner thing, right?
Yeah.
Starting everything at 05.
And I liked it.
Oh man, 6:05 on Saturday. When you say 6:05 on Saturday,
everybody knows.
Everybody knows what you're talking about. Right.
All right, listen up, guys. If you own a handgun for self-defense, your storage likely fits into one of two very frustrating categories. It's either locked away, so it's safe, but out of reach in case of an emergency, or it's unsecured, leaving it vulnerable to anyone. Stopbox USA saw the problem and designed a groundbreaking solution called the Stopbox Pro. With the Stopbox Pro, you'll never have to choose between security and readiness again. Its ingenious push-button locking system gives you fast, reliable access when every second matters, without the hassle of keys or reliance on batteries. By the way, it's 100% mechanical, so you know it's going to work every time. No power needed. With Stopbox USA, you can finally have both security and readiness. Stopbox Pros USA's mechanical keyless system allows for fast, secure access without the risk of fumbling around for those keys when every second counts. It's also battery free, so you never have to worry about your lock not working. All the Stopbox products are made right here in the USA in their own facility. Not only does this ensure the highest quality craftsmanship, but it also creates meaningful jobs and opportunities for the American worker. And did you know you can actually fly with your firearm? You can now, thanks to the Stopbox Pro. It is indeed TSA compliant. Of course, you put it in your checked bag, but man, I love the idea that they've already thought of TSA too. For a limited time only, our listeners are getting a crazy good deal. Not only can you get 10% off your entire order when you use our code WHW at StopboxUSA.com, but they're also giving you a buy one, get one free for their Stopbox Pro. So that's 10% off and a free Stopbox Pro when you use code WHW at StopboxUSA.com. Discover a better way to balance security and readiness with Stopbox. Well, we know what we're talking about, or we think we do. April 26, 1999, 40 minutes and 50 seconds. Tony, you want to do a little razzle dazzle on a countdown?
Okay, razzle dazzle. You ready?
Ready.
It's time for the countdown of WCW Monday Nitro. Sting and Diamond Dallas Page at 40 minutes and 50 seconds in 3, 2, 1. Hey!
Piper and Slamboree against Flair. Now with control of the company at stake, Flair versus Piper and Slamboree, winner runs the company. But in the interim, Piper has been fired and has been let out of here in shackles.
So there you see the, what'd you call it? A cat's ass logo? Oh no, you called it the exploding vagina.
The exploding vagina logo. Yeah. And I think this is where we debuted it. Yeah.
No way. Are you serious?
It's around this time.
Oh,
that we debuted that logo.
Man, what a cool look for Sting. Still rocking the crow look, but if you saw, he's not coming down from the ceiling. He's coming down from the back. He's got this adult onesie on with scorpions on both sides and like what looks like football pads on his thighs and knees. But he's got his boots taped up white. He only did this for a little while in WCW, but I've seen some people on Twitter say, boy, that meant Sting had his working boots on that day. So I can't wait to see this. This is actually, from what I recall, like a 20-minute match for the world title. And I guess that makes sense because I know as we're watching, we told you to go to 40 minutes and 50 seconds. And that is correct. But remember, gang, this was a 3-hour show. But when you watch it on Peacock, it says it's got like a 2-hour and 17-minute runtime. That's because we got some commercials and some bumpers and things like that. So when this says it's starting at 40 minutes, I don't want you to think it's 20 minutes until Raw. This match is going to be happening. We're going to be in the middle of this match during the crossover.
Right.
And here comes DDP, who held the big gold belt on multiple occasions, but never for long any time. But boy, he was super proud to be champ, was he not?
Yeah, he was. I'm very interested as to why he had it on backwards and then turned it around to come in.
He wanted to do a little razzle dazzle.
That's it. He wanted to be his own man. I love that he reaches for a fan and does the thumbs up. Get out of here.
As a reminder, he won that title just 15 days prior to this at Spring Stampede in Tacoma, Washington. And what a big time match that was. It's a 4 corners match. The DDP comes out victorious in a match with Sting, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, and Randy Savage as the special guest referee. I mean, that's about as loaded as you can get. What an anointing for DDP.
Yeah.
And you see there, it's still on the brown leather. They're going to re-leather that belt in 99 when Hulk Hogan goes back to the red and yellow right before Fall Brawl. But it's pretty crazy to think that DDP is wearing the same belt that Dusty Rhodes and Ricky Steamboat and Ron Garvin. And that's wild. That's the best shape DDP may have ever been in right there. My dude's got abs.
Both of them look great.
Sting's tan as fuck. He's ready to win.
I look at, first of all, you freaking belt nerds.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's okay. The biggest one is Jeff freaking Jones.
Oh, I never seen anything like it.
I know. He'll start talking about belts and I'll go, Jeff, don't give a fuck. Stop it.
I'll tell you something. I don't know. We're behind the paywall, so whatever.
Yeah.
Sting's tag belt, freaking replica.
Is it?
Dude,
Is it really?
Your replicas of those tag belts are thick and heavy. I like most normal belts, like a Dave Milliken or Reggie Parks or a Joe Marshall. Those measure in at 4 millimeters thick. Your replicas are 5 millimeters. So they're actually heavier and bigger than the real thing. And it's on, so it's a replica on real leather. And he goes, "Hey, come look at this." And I look at it and I'm like, "God damn, that thing's got some weight." He goes, "It's a replica." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Our replicas are so good now." Like the UFC's been doing this for years. They're world champions. They're wearing replica belts because they've just figured out a way to mass produce a belt that legitimately, if you put it on real leather and not mass produced leather, but hand tooled leather, it's as nice as what you could get anywhere else. But instead of it costing, I don't know, $5, $6, $7, $8, $9,000 to get made, it's like a few $100.
Oh, so I get it. Cost cutting measures and getting the old time belt makers out of business.
Fuck the little guy. Let's go to China and produce something that can be done very quickly and very effectively. But I guess I did an end around there to say, if you've been on the fence about getting an AEW replica belt and you're a belt guy and you wonder how close is it, let me just tell you, it's fucking on the money. If you have one of those, you will not know that it is a replica. Like sometimes you hold a toy belt and well, this isn't the real thing. This is a toy. I could not tell. Sting's world title or Sting's tag title, unbelievably, a replica. Pulled the shit out of me.
Well, and when you say replica, you mean it was not the original one that was built or made for that champion.
Yeah. So it has like real leather on it, but I'm saying
it's a real belt. Yeah.
Instead of there being a one-off set of plates made where it's like getting an acid bath and all that, it just made in a freaking factory and they just bang, bang, bang them out. And I mean, it's not like there's thousands of them made. There's probably hundreds of them made, but still, I was so impressed with it. And I don't collect replica belts, but I've obviously been around a lot and held a lot, but goodness gracious, really a remarkable job that the technology has caught up.
Sting and Page have started out very quickly, slugging it away.
It's a fight right now.
Yes, it really is. And fans just loving it. I love the fact that the signs are still out there and around. That means that we still have some sort of excitement. But of course, when you go to Fargo for like the only time, there's a Stinger splash. Well, Stinger really athletic here, isn't he?
Dude, I think this is maybe best he looked. I mean, oh, everybody's on their feet.
Well, they're loving this, man. This old Scorpion Deathlock on the feet.
Man, that tells you right there, though, just the tease of the Scorpion Deathlock and everybody's on their feet.
Yeah.
When you can tease a submission move, you're over, boys and girls.
Hey, because we didn't get to do this past week, a new podcast. I want to stage Spitting Water.
Let's talk. Look, I think I know where you're going. I'd like to talk about him on the main feed.
Yeah, we will.
It's funny, me and you thought about that at the same time.
Yep. I'm just amazed that I look at old footage now and how many people dropping by the wayside. One of these days, you'll be around and you and Cassio will say, that old Schiavone, he was a good guy, man.
No, we won't. You'll be here with the damn cockroaches.
By the way, as Paige goes, that camera away from them guys, a spot or two. I was great seeing Cassio. I was really surprised that he tried to smuggle a watermelon in under his sweatshirt, but it was great to see him.
He made it happen.
Yeah, he sure did. He and I did a little video together, and
Cassio likes, he goes, he wears the belt low. I wear the belt high.
Yeah, he does wear it low.
You got to make a decision as a fat guy. You going over, you going under.
Right.
And,
it's always good to go over.
Everybody knows I always go over.
Got to go over. Don't let that thing. I've seen guys. Have you seen guys with jeans on going low and tucking their shirt in?
Yeah, Cassio does that.
Is that not the dumbest fucking thing you've ever seen in the world?
I prefer going over.
Yeah, but I mean, the guys that go under and tuck their shirt in. So not only are they under, but the lap, the Dunlap is evident because you just tucked your fucking shirt in. Don't.
You know what's funny as we're watching this? I just realized that
But
2 days prior to this, you guys ran a house show in Huntsville, Alabama.
holy smokes, how about that?
What are the odds of that? 6,128 people showed up to see Sting and Bam Bam Bigelow.
There's a guy in the in the stands popping a bird just for no reason.
As he should.
Yeah, I like this. Some of these signs you just can't understand. Hi, Tony. That sign, I'm sure that wasn't meant for me. But
by the way, I want to mention that Meltzer said this match had a ton of great near falls, super heat, just an excellent 4-star match. Can you believe that? Like, Meltzer was complimentary of a WCW thing.
For a guy that has no idea what the definition of heat means in wrestling, I think it was very well said.
By the way, I know we won't get to talk about this on the main feed because Sting's last match will be in the rearview mirror, but I did find it hilarious. And I had a conversation with some people backstage at AEW. They were talking about Sting's last match and, the criticism. Oh, he shouldn't be wrestling the Young Bucks. And when I would ask on Twitter, hey, well, what would you have preferred for his last match? And almost every one of them was a singles match. And I would reply, okay, if you don't mind, could you make me a list of all the singles matches that Sting's had in AEW? Fucking none.
Yeah.
So if we know it's going to be a tag match, and we know that in order for Sting to do all the cool stuff that Sting has done during this run, it needs to be a tornado tag, aka he needs to be able to do what he's doing in this match we're watching right now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's walk and talk and fight through the crowd and have a spectacle. And I mean, even Meltzer said this was a great match. And this is 25 years ago, but this is the type of thing that Sting wants to do in his last match without me even having any inside knowledge. It's a tornado tag. It's not just going to be wrist locks and drop toe holds in between the ropes. Right. So I'm saying all that to say, if we know it's a tag match and we know it's a tornado tag and we want to have some cool spectacles and visuals in the match to overcome my man's almost 65.
Sure.
Goodness gracious. Who better than the freaking Young Bucks?
Exactly.
I mean, like, I couldn't imagine, like, respectfully, Darby Allin and the Young Bucks can have a great entertaining match with great visuals and blah, 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 blah. Sting can just kind of be there. It lightens the load for him, which is why when I was looking to do Rick's last match, guess what? I wanted to do a tag. We got enough capable people around him to support him and make this special and look awesome, because we're not going to get Sting from 1991 on Sunday. And that Sting doesn't exist anymore.
I'd like to take every online Twitter booker.
Yeah.
Cut their dick off, stick it in their ear and have them walk home.
Oh, wow. What would we call that when you have a dick in your ear? What would that be called? Canal service?
We got to come up with something that's as good as anything else. And it's got to be a t-shirt at lowesrules.com. Look at Paige, man. Paige just, you know what? For all of Paige's bravado and what he made of himself because he worked hard at it, he worked so hard that he became a hell of a worker.
There is no doubt. I mean, I think when you really take a look at what's possible in wrestling, Diamond Dallas Page might be the shining example, because when he first showed up, as a friend of ours would say, he'd have to improve quite a bit to just be the shit.
Mm-hmm.
And he did.
Yeah.
He persevered and he became more than capable. He became good.
Yeah.
And he got over, and like, he's transformed his whole look, his body, his presentation, his style of matches. Like, I'm just saying all that to say, I know sometimes people get their Twitter fingers busy and they're shitting on young talent. And it's like, guys, the person you're dumping on right now is 25. They've been doing it 13 months. Let's give them a little time before we start comparing them to, well, they're not as good as Shawn Michaels was. Okay. How do you watch anything on television? How do you watch college football or pro football? This guy ain't as good as Joe Montana. Turn it off. What?
Again, Dick, the canal of the year.
Canal service.
Canal service. And you know what? I want the bloody end to be showing.
Wow.
Not the knob, the bloody end.
Speaking of knobs, have you seen the new video that DDP put out about Scotty Riggs?
No.
Yeah, well, they got our friend who we used to have a lot of fun with here on the program, Buff Bagwell.
Yeah.
And man, together, Buff reached out to Scotty. Buff gave the hot tag to Diamond Dallas Page. Scotty Riggs is another great DDP success story.
Oh, okay.
Man, he's got he had some dental issues, he had some physical issues, he had some confidence issues, some financial issues. DDP's doing it again, man, and this time with the help of Marcus Alexander Bagwell. I'm just happy to see all of their success. I know that he just posted not long ago the results of Butterbean and that same similar circumstance, and to think that he's been able to do it for Scotty Riggs too. That's pretty cool, man. I look forward to seeing the American males making more appearances together.
That's great. That is great. It goes back to, and I think life goes back to this, Conrad, in any walk of life, in any scenario. Put in the work, you're going to be successful at it.
No doubt.
Now, DDP knows that. That's one of his mantras, put in the work. There. We were watching this match and how I knew that DDP was a great worker. Just one small thing was Sting hit the near side ropes, came through and ducked the clothesline, right?
Yep.
Page did not. He threw the clothesline and he threw the clothesline and knew that Sting was going to be ducking. So he didn't throw it high as if, okay, I'll make sure he misses it. Yeah. He threw it the right way.
Yes.
In other words, Sting, if you don't duck this, you're going to get nailed.
Yes.
That's a sign of a good worker. Just trusting your opponent.
As opposed to throwing the arm way up high, like you're never going to hit anybody with that.
Exactly. Because I hate when I see that, because that's like, and we've told young talent, throw the freaking clothesline. If they don't duck, it's their fault. Because when they throw that clothesline high, the called spot, and they were. It just makes the duck just stupid. But Page knew how to do that. And Page doing a great job of being a heel here too, man.
I just saw DDP flip those stairs in the corner over.
Right.
And I guess I knew this, but I kind of forgot, and that was served as a reminder. WCW used wooden stairs. I kind of forgot about that.
So did I.
What did you think about the difference between wooden stairs and metal stairs? Like, we've seen those heavy WWF ones. Man, what a great way to counter a diamond cutter. Hold on to the top rope. That was excellent. I love that.
Yeah.
The wooden stairs, though, if you were a talent, would you prefer the heavy ass metal stairs or the easier to maneuver, but might also break and splinter wooden stairs?
Well, I would prefer as a talent the wooden stairs.
I would too.
Yeah. Those steel stairs. So
cumbersome.
Yeah. An albatross. And they're just an injury waiting to happen. But there's so many things kids do these days. So why not? Why not have a steel stairs with spikes on them and throw Darby into it? Look at the fans get up for this Stinger splash. Well, Mickey J was a good referee, man. Rest in peace, Mickey J.
Look at the crowd. Listen to him, man.
Yeah.
Meltzer's right. The fans are hot as shit for this.
Yeah. A lot of heat.
Brother. You know what's wild is, I don't want to give you a spoiler, but Sting's about to win the world title here.
Yeah. Oh, no, really?
He's going to lose it 2 hours later.
Oh, yeah. This is the one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That 4-way is where he loses it back.
Right. Yeah. Goldberg's involved in that one too. So by the way, again, it's a season 5, episode 17, April 26, 99 at the Fargo Dome. And, hey, kudos to Sting were wrestling this match, which is a kick-ass match, and then coming back later. And I think you mentioned that earlier on this podcast.
Yeah.
Be able to do that.
Yeah. DDP came back later and so did Sting. They were both in the main event, but with two other competitors and then a little interference. But it's interesting that this is day 15 of DDP's reign. He's going to lose the title and 2 hours later, win it back.
Yeah.
So when he talks about being a three-time, well, you're seeing time 2 on this match or this show later in the day.
God, Paige took that whip into the corner, which has now been known as the Excalibur, a hammer throw into the corner.
Hard.
He took it hard, and not only that, whip just made it even harder by hitting it, and he hit it so hard, so well, you couldn't tell that he did a lot of that. Again, sign of a good worker. And a lot of the fans are into themselves and their signs here too. I get that, but still, the fans are into the match.
Man, I really thought you didn't give a fuck about DDP, but look at you just putting him over left and right.
Yeah. Hey. No, I appreciate good workers. I mean, we knew that Sting was.
Yes.
But I appreciate what Dallas became. I really do. I mean, it's like all the guys that I knew throughout my years, I mean, he could be a pain in the ass. Ric Flair's a pain in the ass. And that was on full display backstage in Huntsville. Boy, did I have fun with him in Huntsville on Wednesday. Giving each other shit. Telling stories that I've told a million times. And him laughing at those stories like first time he heard them. A lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. It was cool to see Mark Henry.
Yes. Yeah. Mark has a lot of talent. People don't realize this, but he's a chef.
What?
Yes, he's a chef. He studied food prep during his years, and his mom was a great cook, and he talks about cooking all the time. Look, fans, my God.
They're with it, man.
They are with it. Hang on here. Pile driver. Dallas fighting. Ooh.
Dude, Dallas quit holding on for the pile driver.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember seeing Sting do that before.
No.
Where it's almost like when he let go of Sting's legs, I thought, well, is he going to try to flip him up and do a powerbomb here? And he did not. How about a gut wrench tombstone here?
Tombstone him this time.
Look at you. Oh, what a reversal.
A third one.
A hell of a spot, guys.
Listen,
the spot. The spot that they in Dallas was talking about. 1, 2, no, and a false finish. That's a spot some of the guys in this era should look at and try to duplicate. Reversal of a pile driver, and then kick out into a DDT.
I thought for sure he was going to try to find a way to get a diamond cutter into that, but
yeah, that's all right. Yeah, I agree with Dave Meltzer. 4-star match, every bit.
Oh, damn it. Dirty ass Diamond Dallas Page cheater.
Yeah, now
he's hooking the rope again, though.
Oh, man.
I don't know
What a fucking finish. Look at the fans.
My God.
I'm telling you, that's one of Sting's best matches.
I have goosebumps.
That is one of Sting's best matches.
This was a real surprise.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you and I watch a bonus episode, it's just whatever, listen, it's whatever, but I really appreciate this being chosen. This is one of the forgotten great Sting matches.
Yeah.
Damn that. Forgotten great Nitro matches, forgotten great WCW matches. And I think maybe the reason it's forgotten is because it was in the middle of the show and they're going to undo, this new world title win in just a couple hours. And I get that, but that doesn't make what we just watched any less special.
Right.
Man, that was awesome.
Yeah, Hutch, good choice, buddy. You were 9 years old at the time. You watched it on television, and again, when I see Sting on Sunday, I'm going to talk to him about this match. See how much he remembers of it. Tell him, hey, you got to remember it, and if you don't, go back and watch it again, my man. This is great Sting stuff. Look at that Scorpion Death Drop out of the attempt of a diamond cutter.
He would wind up winning the title just one more time. That's his next to last WCW World Title win. He would win it from Hulk Hogan September 12th, 1999. But this is the last time he held the big gold belt with the brown leather, black leather later in the year. And what a great shot. What a great visual. We got to let people know about this match, Tony. This is one of those people talk about him and Flair in Greensboro, and I get that. And they talk about him and Flair in Baltimore, and I get that. And they talk about, I really enjoyed the tag match with him and Lex against the Steiners at a Super Brawl. That was fun. And I know they talk about him and Vader at King of the Cable and all that, but goodness gracious, dude, when people are critical of WCW in like 99, they're not critical of a match like that. My goodness. All right, boys, we've all heard that song, These Boots Are Made for Walking. Well, the Brunt boots are made for working. You see, these boots were made by the working man for the working man. I absolutely love their story. And more importantly, I love their boots. Not only are they incredibly comfortable, but they deliver the protection and durability that you'll need on a job site. There's over 500,000 customers already for this product. But what I love best about Brunt is they let you try the boots out on the job risk-free. And all their products have free shipping. Who encourages you to wear your work boot and try it to make sure you like it? That's what they're all about. You see, Brunt's best-selling Marin work boots are not only built for the toughest job sites, they're completely waterproof. We're talking rain, mud, or standing water. Whatever it is, your feet will stay dry. From oily workshop floors to muddy farm fields and everywhere in between, the Marin 6-inch soft toe is built for workers across a variety of trades. And Brunt isn't just about work boots. They offer a full range of high-performance gear built for tough jobs. From heavy-duty work pants to weather-resistant jackets, Brunt designs durable, reliable workwear to keep you protected and productive in any condition. Brunt knows they have the best boots on the planet, so again, they're letting you try the products on the job risk-free. What you're going to find is all of their boots, especially like the Marin boot I keep bragging about, it's lightweight, waterproof, slip and oil resistant, heat resistant. It's even electrical hazard rated. I really love these boots. I know you will too. I've got some people in my life who have vouched for them, and I believe in them. Check them out. Brunt didn't just make a durable work boot. They reinvented comfort for the hardest workers out there, and for a limited time, our listeners can get $10 off at Brunt by using the code WHW at checkout. Just head to bruntworkwear.com and use the code WHW, and you're all set. Even better, Brunt lets you try all their products on the job risk-free. So after you purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. That's Brunt. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to What Happened When? With the voice of your childhood, Tony Schiavone. Tony, what's going on, man? How are you?
Conrad, what is up, buddy? It is a great time to be a wrestling fan with a lot going on, and it's a great time to be able to talk to you as always. We really do have fun doing these. We have a great time going back, as fans know, great time going back and watching old WWE or WWF stuff. Great time going back in the archives of the NWA and WCW and watching some of the stuff and making fun at me. And it's great to go back and watch the old ECW stuff and see that when a skinny Paul Heyman was only 400 pounds back then.
Oh my gosh, listen here.
So there, it's really a good time. And this one is very interesting. And it's very interesting. And our thanks to Jim Pazinski. Jim,
it's Jim in Buffalo, right?
Yep. He gave us this match because this was, okay, let me read a little bit from Jim here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Jim says, and it's in the, it's obviously in the description, most of it. He said, This show is best known for WWE having to call a significant audible the day of the show because it's just one day after the infamous incident in Saudi Arabia, where the official line is that the WWE charter had mechanical issues and couldn't leave the country. Most, however, believe there was a financial dispute, blah, blah, blah. So they had to put this show together on the fly.
Yeah, this was not the original plan. They had just done the Crown Jewel pay-per-view, which was obviously a big opportunity for the company. But as the story goes, they were behind in paying Vince McMahon's WWE. I think they were $50 million shows. And I guess they still owed for the prior show. They hadn't paid for that one or this one. So as the story goes, Vince McMahon, as a way to sort of show everybody who's boss, cut the feed to the Saudi Arabian people. So they weren't able to see this. And when they cut the feed, apparently that pissed off the royal family. And they said, okay, you can cut off the TV feed. We can cut off the pipeline for the airport. So you're not going anywhere, bud. Huge delay, a lot of panic with all the talent. And of course, the official line was there was a mechanical issue with the plane. No one bought that. And as a result, we have to shuffle some things. And Meltzer would say this ended up being a blessing in disguise in a number of ways. The main event, where Adam Cole retained the NXT title over Bryan, was a classic match, wrestled in a very different style than normally seen in WWE. It was very technical, but also strongly physical, more like a New Japan main event. Bryan, as a wrestler/worker in this match, put on the best individual performance in a match in a main roster ring in a long time. With the new characters being pushed so hard, the show came across as fresh. We should also mention that this match between Adam Cole and Daniel Bryan gained 12.4% of the audience back, and it's actually the high point of the show. The result is the show winds up winning the night in men 18-49 and 18-34, or just people rather, but men in both of those groups were a big part, of course. It's third overall to an NBA game on ESPN and SportsCenter. But still, it's a big opportunity for Daniel Bryan and a big opportunity for Adam Cole. They're teasing that Shawn Michaels would actually wrestle Daniel Bryan, but Triple H then calls in Adam Cole. And Meltzer would say it's weird because on NXT, Cole is part of the anti-authority heel group, and here he was like the top babyface gun of the authority. But you're not going to get consistency in WWE angles, especially when there's no adverse situations, so you can't expect it here. But what we're about to watch is a 20-minute and 48-second match that was far more physical than a usual WWE match, Meltzer said, to the point it almost seemed out of place. Bryan's going to work as a face. Cole's not really working as a heel, but it's going to show that Bryan is one of the elite wrestlers in the entire world. And the result is a 4.25 star match on WWE television in 2019. So we want you to watch along with us. Get your Peacock out and pull up WWE Friday Night Smackdown. We want you to go to season 21, episode 44. That's season 21, episode 44. This went down the day after Halloween. It's November 1st, 2019. So we're right around the same time that AEW is launching on television. It's an exciting time to be a wrestling fan here in November of 2019, right?
Sure is. All Saints Day for you Catholics. And don't know why I brought that up, but every time I think of November 1st, I think of that. And it is. It is really a great time to be a wrestling fan. Friday Night Smackdown. And just let me say this before we start.
Say it.
When I was younger, and when I went up through the ranks in WCW, NWA, to me, the greatest wrestler was Ric Flair, and he is still one of the greatest. Then as I moved on and started watching matches with you, I thought Shawn Michaels was the greatest ever, and he is one of the greatest. And I'm going to be a homer here, but I know I'm right. The greatest wrestler of all time is Bryan.
Man, I can't argue that. I've been saying that for a while. I know that when you and I first started recording, I started talk about how much I loved his matches and his stuff. And I know he wasn't really on your radar. And if I'm honest with you, as much as I love the stuff he's doing now, I was maybe an even bigger fan of his back in like 04. I was just convinced that he was the greatest wrestler. And what I really like about Bryan is his approach to wrestling is so different. I saw an interview with him more than 10 years ago now, maybe 15 years ago at this point. He had already started to win the Wrestling Observer Wrestler of the Year award, the Ric Flair award, it's often called. And he would win it over and over and over. I mean, back to back to back. But I read a great interview with him that I've actually referenced in sales meetings in my mortgage life, where he would talk about the fact that he couldn't watch matches of his in the past. Because if he watched a match from 5 years ago or 5 months ago, he felt like he wouldn't be happy with the match. He knew he wouldn't be happy with the match because he would see things he did and he had evolved in his thinking, and he would say, oh, I wish I wouldn't have done that. I should have done this instead. He couldn't just watch the match and enjoy it. He felt like he was continually evolving and getting better, and watching his old stuff was kind of depressing. And the idea that a guy who was voted on and considered by all of his peers to be the best wrestler in the world over and over and over, for him to go back and watch the matches that earned him those awards and him be disappointed in them, talked about a standard of excellence that exists in his pride of his profession that's really rare. And I think that's what separates him from almost everyone else in wrestling.
There's so many things. Being able to work with him has been just one of the joys, in being able to not only work with him, but as you and I watched his matches with Nigel, and being able to work with Nigel now for me has been just an absolute joy as well. I'm not comparing myself to Bryan Danielson by any means, but I get it when he says that, because I cannot go back and watch myself. I can't. I'm asked many times, like as you and I are recording this, we had recorded a Collision, and it played last night. And of course, I was at a funeral. I was driving back, but if people ask me, do you watch those tape shows? And I go, no, I can't. I said, I will watch clips of the angles with the sound down. I just don't like my voice. I've never liked it. I'm disappointed. I'll say things and I'll go, God, I shouldn't have said that. And I'm just difficult on myself. I'm hard on myself that way. So I get it, how he is. It's just, I've always thought as an announcer, and I know he thinks this way as a wrestler, you just got to move forward.
Yes.
Don't look back, move forward. And I've always done that, to move forward. And just being able to work with him, and I'm glad we're able to see this. And I was so glad we were able to watch the Ring of Honor stuff, because Bryan Danielson is, admittedly, he's talked about this on TV. He's at the end of his career. And he's just, right now, he's just pushing himself. And it's remarkable to watch. I know he's not 100%. And so we're going to watch a match from, 5 years ago?
Yeah, almost 5 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, where he was a little bit healthier than he is now. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. And you know what? Props to Adam Cole, too, as well. So
we're about to watch a great match. Hope you'll watch along with us. Get your Peacock out. It's season 21, episode 44. We're going to 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 41 seconds. That's 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 41 seconds. You'll see Pat McAfee and Renee Paquette and our buddy Tom. They're all behind the announce desk clapping. And then right in front, you'll see 2 desk chairs with Triple H on your right, Shawn Michaels, who got dressed up for the occasion, on your left. And we're ready to go. You want to do the countdown this time? Will you do the honors for us?
I'll do the honors. Hey, in 3, 2, 1, play. A lot of applauding going on. There was a Saudi Arabia sign. I don't know what that was about.
Well, it's because Daniel Bryan's coming out.
Okay.
All right, boys and girls, time to talk about having a little better sex. You've heard us brag about Blue Chew for years, but we got some big news. Blue Chew Max has arrived, and it's like the Midnight Express of your wiener, right? It combines the active ingredients of Viagra and Cialis into one chewable. Think of them as like your tag team specialists. This combo acts fast and it lasts. And right now, great sex is just a few clicks away. Sign up at bluechew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. Did I mention this is all free? That's right. Your first month of Blue Chew is free. And maybe even better than that, Blue Chew's made in the USA, and it's prepared and shipped directly to your door, discreetly, of course. And that might be the best part. You see, this entire thing is done online. That means you don't have to go to the doctor's office. You don't have to have those awkward conversations, and you never have to wait in line at the pharmacy. So make your life easier by getting that ding dong harder and discover your options at bluechew.com. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try your first month of Blue Chew free when you use the promo code WHW. Just pay $5 shipping. That's promo code WHW. Visit bluechew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring today's podcast. Man, if you were a betting man, there's been lots of rumor and innuendo about Bryan Danielson rather, that perhaps this is going to be his last year as a full-time in-ring competitor. I think he's made that publicly known. And so far this year, he's wrestled in Arena, Mexico. He's wrestled in the Tokyo Dome, or right around the corner from Wembley Stadium. And there's a lot of people who are circling Wrestle Dream and think, hey, that might be one of Bryan's last matches. If you were a betting man, do you believe that to be the case?
No.
Well, thank you for that.
Well, I don't, because I just know how he is.
Right.
Now, it may be his last full-time match. Bryan Danielson is going to be a big part of AEW for the remainder of his life, I do believe.
You don't think he ever goes back to WWE?
No.
Wow.
No. He's too valuable to, I like seeing Roderick Strong come out too there. He is too valuable to Tony Khan. He's a valuable member of the front office, put it that way. Even Tony Khan had said, isn't it public?
Yeah, that if something were to happen to him, he'd want to give the reins to Bryan Danielson.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is bullshit, because we all know it should go to you.
Yeah, you know what? It should go to me, but I'm happy with where I am in life. I mean, I'm happy to the point to where I say, yeah, fuck it.
Once upon a time that nothing happened and motherfucking Eric Bischoff leapfrogged you, and now you're going to let that nothing happen and Bryan Danielson leapfrog you.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's the good news. If Bryan Danielson takes over the company, I'll be a big part of it.
Well, there you go.
Yes, because he and I have become very good friends. I check on Bryan all the time. And because of his health and because the crazy fucking, I always talk, I said, just slow the fuck down sometimes. And he said, I don't know how to. So, what an amazing performer. And here's another thing. I'll text him all the time to see how he's doing, because I'm always concerned about all the bumps he takes. And of course, he's had his injuries. He's had major injuries. And he never answers those texts because he's always out hiking somewhere. Like a fucking goof.
Thank you.
Okay? Yeah, like a fucking goof, Bryan Danielson. You can rest between going out and bumping, but what are you going to do? You're going to hike up a fucking mountain. God.
Like a fucking goof.
Like a fucking goof. If I took those bumps, I'd lay around until the next TV.
Hey, by the way, I don't take those bumps, and I lay around till the next TV.
Yep, me too. Me too.
He's wrestling Adam Cole here, who looks like a bit of a Bitmoji.
Mm-hmm.
That's always been the criticism of Adam Cole, that he lacks size. And I think a lot of people once upon a time felt like, he would never make it in WWE because he wasn't quote unquote big enough. They said that about both of these guys. Well, they both made it in WWE and outside of WWE. Did you ever think that Adam Cole was undersized?
No.
Rey Mysterio proved all that incorrect.
Yes. Size does not matter in wrestling. Look at Darby Allin. Look how thin he looks. Size does not matter in wrestling at all. Now, back in Vince's day, always one of the big guys, right? The heavyweights. And it just doesn't matter to me. If you're a good performer, if you're a great performer, you're a great performer. And I think we were, and you know, Britt, of course, his girlfriend was working, still is working for us. And we all thought that we would never see Adam Cole here because I think the word was that Triple H loved him.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. So, no, size does not matter. Not at all. Even to the point to where, and here's the thing, we call the AEW World Championship the AEW World Championship.
Right.
Some of the wrestlers sometime will still call the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. And that is such a misnomer because you don't have to be a heavyweight to be the world champion anymore. There's not a weight class.
Right.
But
Force of habit. Yeah.
Force of habit. Right. Look at,
Watching a pretty good match here. Hope you're watching along with us. This is season 21, episode 44. It's the day after Halloween, November 1st, 2019. Oh, that visual.
something else, isn't it?
It is.
When they do that move, and they still do it today, I'm wondering, how in the hell can they work that?
Well, it just doesn't go down any further, but still, I mean, the timing, the placement, it's like, it reminds me of like when Harley Race would, or even Harley Race would do the knee drop, but I'm saying we would even see like, and this is pretty crazy when you think about it in hindsight, as impressive as a knee drop from Harley Race was when he was just running the ropes, Bobby Eaton would get on the top rope and do a knee drop. Like what?
Yeah.
How was that possible?
Now, Shawn Michaels is at ringside. We've seen Triple H at ringside. What are they there for? Do you remember?
Yeah. So the storyline here is, we had to put something together, but it's WWE versus NXT sort of thing.
Got it. All right.
And so it was Bryan Danielson. A lot of people thought we're going to wrestle Shawn Michaels this day. Instead, it becomes Shawn Michaels' protege, if you will, the pride of NXT, the NXT champion, because of course, Triple H is representing the WWE main roster and Shawn Michaels is representing NXT. So we've got one of the top guys from the main roster taking on one of the top guys from NXT. And this wasn't the original storyline. This wasn't the original plan. It's all just sort of thrown together because we can't get people out of Saudi Arabia.
So as you said, it worked out for the best, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Adam Cole was the NXT champion at this time.
Yep.
Came with the belt. And look at this.
The suplex over the top rope. My God. And of course, go to commercial because it's the Kevin Dunn era. Every time somebody spilled out, man, that was one of my frustrating things about being a WWE fan. It felt like it was paint by numbers. Everything felt so familiar. And without Kevin Dunn there, they've started to switch up the way things are shot and the way things are presented. And it feels a lot different.
Yeah. Don't you think they had to?
They had to. It was boring.
Yeah. Right. Well, they had to make their mark production wise.
Yes.
And I get that. I'm watching this match and I'm thinking how great a kid Adam Cole really is. Nice young man.
Now,
really,
rumor and innuendo is he's standing between you and your true love, Britt Baker. Do you care to comment?
He's not standing between it because I can always walk around him anytime I want.
Oh, okay. That's good to hear.
Yeah. Yeah. He could try to stand him away, but he knows better. Okay. He just turned a blind eye.
You giving him the old Candido.
Is that well, yeah, I guess. Really? Yeah, I guess you can call it that. I mean, if I could call Britt right now, get her here on the phone and ask her, say, you busy today? And she would say no. And I could hop on a plane right now and go down and have dinner with her.
And he can't say or do shit about it.
No, nothing he can do about it.
Fuck him, right?
because he and I get along, and she loves me, and I know it. Okay, that's what you call unconditional love.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what you call true love.
is she going to be at your Hall of Fame ceremony?
No, I should have invited her.
You should.
I
She
really
should have introduced you.
Yeah,
Fuck those
I thought
kids.
about that. But I thought about, no, I need you and I need my kids.
I ain't doing it. We're letting the kids do it.
No, you're introducing the kids, son of a bitch.
Nah, I'm gonna sit my fat ass in the crowd. Let the kids do it. This is a Schiavone family thing.
Well, I know how you are once you get something in your brain.
Dude, I'm just so happy you're finally, like, it's bullshit that, how the fuck did I go into Wrestling Hall of Fame before you did?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. So as soon as I was fortunate enough to be on the board, and they were like, hey, any nominations? I was like, Tom Pritchard, Arn Anderson, and Tony Schiavone. Not in that order. Tony's never been in a Hall of Fame, god damn it. So
How am I going into a Hall of Fame before Bob Caudle? Someone explain.
no, Bob Cottle's in a ton of Hall of Fames.
Oh, he is?
Yeah. You're thinking of the WWE.
Okay. So there's a ton of Hall of Fames out there.
Oh, there's so many.
Yeah, okay.
So many. But yeah, he's definitely deserving.
Yeah, I guess I am thinking about the WWE Hall of Fame. You know, you're right about this match, and Meltzer was right about this match. It was technically sound, but it was physical.
Yes.
Yeah. And why aren't the fans just into this?
Well, because they don't know Adam Cole.
But they know Bryan Danielson or Daniel Bryan.
They thought he'd never wrestle again. So the idea that he's back, this is a big deal. But there is a definite separation of church and state between the main roster and NXT. There's a lot of fans who can't get enough of everything NXT. But there's even more fans, a multiple, who watch the main shows, either Raw or SmackDown or both, but don't ever watch a minute of NXT. And for whatever reason, and I'm almost embarrassed to say it, I'm one of them. I don't watch any NXT.
Yeah.
Like a few years ago when they had Cody on the show, I watched just to see what that was going to be. But outside of that, I've not watched a lot of NXT. And I've got friends down there. You and I both think a lot of Jeremy Borash, and he's down there, and I'm just not watching. I'm a bad friend. All right, boys and girls, by now you know I love talking about business, and I felt like I found my match, and I met my match when I met Eric Nichols at Envision Marketing. Years ago, I started advertising my mortgage company on radio and television, and I had some success, and I thought, hey, I know I need to advertise online, but I don't really know what to do. Well, the radio stations and TV stations, they all took my money, they took my order, but they never gave me any results. I needed someone who understood the space. And then I met Eric Nichols and the guys at Envision Marketing Consultants. He was speaking my language. He understood what I was really looking for, more leads. He taught me a lot too. My understanding of the space was better. My understanding of what I was buying was better. And if you're a small business owner, I want him to do for you what he did for me. And I believe in him and this product so much, I'm lending them my name. We're calling it conradsguy.com. Now, of course, this is a real company, Envision Marketing Consultants, but I really like that, conradsguy.com. Anybody who knows me knows when anything comes up, hey, man, I need a landscaper. Hey, man, I need a roofer. Hey, man, I need a car detailer. I always say, I got a guy. Well, when any of my business friends wanted to grow their business and they were like, hey, where's the best place to spend my ad dollars? I would always say, I got a guy. I think the best bang for your buck in marketing is digital. And I'm talking to you if you're a small business owner and you're looking to do SEO, pay-per-click, targeted display. Maybe you want streaming ads on like Hulu or YouTube or Amazon. Well, conradsguy.com can help you do all of that. That's where you'll get hooked up with Eric and his team. And they can help you if you're B2B or retail or food and beverage or manufacturing, even if you're a nonprofit. Hell, even if you're another mortgage company. They can hook you up at Envision Marketing Consultants. They will improve your results. And here's the best part. If Eric and his team take a look and they can't help your company, well, they'll give you the peace of mind of saying, you know what, dude, you're doing pretty good. Stay on the right track. Keep doing what you're doing. How do you beat that? This is worth the little bit of time it will take to have the real peace of mind and maybe finally find some solutions on how to get more leads. It's worked for me and it'll work for you. Check out Eric Nichols at Envision, and maybe he can be your guy too. In the meantime, go right now to conradsguy.com, fill out that fast and easy form, and let Eric and his team get your digital marketing on track. That's conradsguy.com.
Well, there's just so much you can watch.
Yeah.
I really think. I mean, you have to. There is so much to watch on TV, and that is why in this day and age, it is very difficult to really put I think, an accurate number. He landed in the seat. It's so slick. An accurate number on who's watching what. Everything. Conrad, in 10 years, everything is going to be streaming.
Oh, for sure.
Everything.
I would agree.
Yeah. Even WWE, they're moving to Netflix, right?
By the way, that's going to look totally different. There's not going to be any commercials. They're not going to have to censor themselves. It'll be uncensored.
Yeah, I know.
So if a guy wants to come out and say, I'm going to beat your fucking ass, he can.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy to think WWE is just going to be, if they want to have a live sex show with Edge and Lita, they can do it.
Yeah. I was interesting, but you have to be, I think you have to be very careful with it. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why, because it gets old.
Mm-hmm.
To me right now, flipping the fans off with the bird.
Yep.
Does not have the impact it used to.
No, we agree.
Yeah. So if everybody comes out and says, fuck you and fuck this, it's not going to have the impact. So they have to be careful with it.
Hey, I forgot to tell you that I recently showed a friend of ours, Eric Rottencrotch. Remember him, my buddy Eric Rottencrotch?
Yeah, I do remember. Yeah.
Well, he came down to visit me not too long ago, and somehow it came up when Casio was over, that documentary about the people from your state that you know real well, The Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. When was the last time you watched that?
I've never watched it, and just once again,
No, we don't need any notes.
No, here's a note for you and all your fellow people from Mississippi.
Oh,
because I know that's where you're from.
Right. Well established.
Yeah. Right. That I'm not from West Virginia. I've only been there a couple of times. Charleston, Wheeling. That's about it. Hey, this is the referee that.
Yeah, that's Drake.
Drake. I should have said his name because that's what I was thinking. Yeah, he's the one that got me into an NXT show.
He's no longer in wrestling, I don't
Really?
believe. He certainly deleted all of his social media.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is in the roofing business now.
Well, good for him.
And I think wrestling's in the rear view. I know he got back in the ring and did some hardcore stuff, but from what I understand, he left WWE because he refused to take the vaccine when they were mandating that everybody get vaccinated. So he got shown the door. So he said, okay, and started thinking about a second act.
Well, good. I
think
whatever.
I think he's had some substance abuse challenges in his life too, and he's got all those under control now. So he's a real success story, and I'm happy for him.
What a freaking bump that just was.
No doubt. We're watching a hell of a match, and listen, we love to make fun of bad matches, but this is not going to be one of them. 4.25 stars on free TV. Go out of your way to watch it. Daniel Bryan, Adam Cole in the main event of Smackdown, November 1st, 2019, season 21, episode 44. Oh, I love this. This is one of my favorite things.
Vintage Bryan Danielson.
That was very Adam Cole of you right there.
Yeah.
Vintage Randy Orton.
Yeah. See how he's got Danielson locked up right there?
Yep.
I mean, how he's got
Adam Cole.
Adam Cole locked up. That's how I would lock up Adam Cole if he would say, no, you can't go see Britt.
Yeah, fuck him. What's he going to do?
Yeah.
Can't stand in the way of true love.
Nope. Cannot.
I think it's smart that you didn't bring her. It would be uncomfortable for you and Lois.
No, Lois loves her.
Yeah, but if she got up there and started, espousing how she feels, yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Hey, let me ask you this. Last time we got Lois out to an event, it was your birthday party, and she was a surprise at Jimmy's famous seafood.
Yeah.
And if I recall correctly, that's the last time you got some stank on your hang low. Do I have that right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to be a Hall of Famer, and I don't think Lois has ever had Hall of Fame wiener before. You think, if I'm thinking what you're thinking and you're thinking what I'm thinking this Friday night.
No, we're thinking differently.
We're thinking differently.
Yeah. Think I'm going to have sex with a senior citizen? Shit. I'm a Hall of Famer.
Oh, I love it.
But I do want to tell you this, and I was thinking about this yesterday because with the exception of going to Jackie's funeral, which was uplifting, but sad at the same time.
Of course.
Lois and I stopped. Lois said, let's stop somewhere because I'm hungry. I said, okay. So we saw this place called the Bristol Poorhouse, Pour house. Okay. And this was really great. And this is, there it is. The Panama Sunrise. I want to see how this match ends first, and I'll tell you this story because it's pretty freaking cool.
Look at that, man. Adam Cole is a made man. He just beat Daniel Bryan clean in the middle.
And everyone is shocked.
Yeah, nobody can believe that an absolute top guy just put over the NXT champ. Of course, we know no big deal for Bryan Danielson. There's Roderick Strong and the rest of the Undisputed Era. And I know they've been anti-authority and heels. And look who's out there, too, as part of NXT. Rhea Ripley.
Wow.
It's amazing to see how much wrestling has changed in 5 years. There's Keith Lee climbing in the ring. Is that Leo Rush right there?
Yeah, Matt Riddle.
Bianca Belair, Tommaso Ciampa. Man, 5 years. Where does the time go? Is that Swerve Strickland out front?
I have to look again.
Yeah, Swerve, bro.
Yeah, that is Swerve.
Think about this, man. Look at what we're watching right now. This is amazing, is it not?
Yeah, it is.
Rhea and Swerve and Leo and Adam Cole, Keith Lee, Bianca Belair. Man, this was just 5 years ago. You blink and it changes so much, doesn't it?
Just like life, brother.
Yeah.
Just like life. Absolutely.
Well, listen, you were going to tell us a story about you and Lois. Let's hear it.
Stopped at the poorhouse. We walked in and we immediately realized this is not a place to have lunch. This is a pool. This is a pool hall to have a beer.
Got it.
So we sat down at the bar. I had a Michelob Ultra.
What?
Yeah, because of my diet. Lois had, she said, I need a microbrew or something. Lois is like a beer snob. We sit there and there were at least 4 guys and they were all older gentlemen and they were all Army veterans. Okay. And we struck up one of the greatest conversations ever about military and stuff like that. And it was just, we had a great time. It was a dive and we had a wonderful time.
I'm glad to hear it.
We go to the Texas Road. This is a long way to get to where I'm going. We go to Texas Roadhouse. We have lunch. We meet a family. Guy recognized me. We met him and his kids. And Lois said, man, I've had a wonderful time with you today. And I told Lois, I said, well, we need to get out more, which we do.
Yes.
We need to get out more because we can afford to get out more now, for crying out loud. So I was thinking about bringing her over to your place to see you guys sometime.
Oh my God. What?
So yeah, I think that would be cool. Don't you? Let her see the lake and
Dude, that would be awesome.
Let her see the geese chase you around the house.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's in the plan. So I'm going to talk to you about it. Maybe in the next.
Is she a beach person?
No, not at all.
Yeah. We'll do the lake then. Man, that's exciting.
Yeah. She doesn't like the beach at all, but, so anyway, we're going to start doing some more things, and who knows? I mean, she's going to have to. I'm a Hall of Famer, damn it. She's going to have to do what I say.
That's it. And if she don't, you got somebody who will in little DMD, if you know what I'm saying. All right, boys and girls, that'll do it for us. These are your June bonus episodes. And I know what you're saying. Wait, isn't it July? Yeah. We're just a couple days away from 2 more bonus episodes for July. We apologize. June got away from Tony. As we mentioned, he's been busier than a one-arm paper hanger, but we greatly appreciate all of your support here on the WHW Monday Patreon. We realize you got a lot of choices, and we appreciate that you guys continually choose us. You're a part of our little family here, and man, we've just had a blast recording these bonus episodes. So keep those suggestions coming, and we'll have 2 more coming right on time. But Tony, right now, it looks like it's about that time.
Bryan Danielson going up against Adam Cole. And of course, Tony Schiavone is your referee. And ladies and gentlemen, it looks like the shoulders of Bryan Danielson are down. 1, 2. Oh, Tony got a cramp in his arm. Oh, God, he's got a cramp in his arm. And now he's calling for someone in the back. Oh, we are desperately out of time. We'll see you next week on What Happened When. Remember, this is bonus action. And Dave Silva, don't forget, if you ever put this on the regular feed, to edit that part out.
Well, so long, everybody. We'll see you soon right here on What Happened When Patreon. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson here to tell you a little more about what adfreeshows.com is all about. Get early, ad-free access to more than a dozen of your favorite wrestling podcasts every single week, starting at just $9. That's less than 20 cents an episode each month. And yes, you can listen to them all directly through Apple Podcasts or your regular podcast apps. How easy is that? Ad-Free Shows also has thousands of hours worth of bonus content and docuseries like Title Chase, Eric Fires Back, Conversations with Conrad, and The Insiders. Plus new series like The Book with David Crockett, Monday Mailbags with Mike Chioda and Nick Patrick, and a whole lot more. And you want to talk about early? You can't get any earlier than listening to the shows live. You can be a part of the live studio audience as we record the podcast. Plus, ride shotgun alongside your favorite childhood heroes for live watch-alongs, Q&As, and other interactive experiences every single month. Come on now, see for yourself what thousands of other wrestling fans from around the world have discovered, that adfreeshows.com is the best value in wrestling. Check it out today, and hey, when you do, the first week is completely free. adfreeshows.com.